In a world drowning in noise, the most potent signals are those concealed in silence. Most people mistakenly believe truth resides solely in spoken words, but those who observe with depth know that truth often hides in what is not said. A person can speak for hours, and yet their deepest truth begins to reveal itself the moment they fall silent. Silence is not emptiness, it is expression for those who know how to truly listen. When someone pauses before answering, it's not always thoughtful consideration. It can signify uncertainty, fear, or a mind scrambling to construct an acceptable response, even if the heart disagrees. Hesitation is a powerful signal. In any interaction where hesitation surfaces, you have an opening to perceive what lies beneath. The discipline of observation isn't about dramatic gestures, it's about the subtle. Most people are trained to take words at face value, but this is merely surface-level understanding. A disciplined mind listens to energy, tension, presence, and absence. And of all absences, silence is the most potent. When a question is posed and the person goes still, even for a moment, that stillness is rich with meaning. Why the pause? Why the shift in breathing? Why the sudden glance away or down? Why does the atmosphere in the room subtly change? This is the art of sensing energy, not with emotion but with pure awareness. Silence isn't a void, it is data. A person falling quiet as a topic changes might be burdened by emotional weight concerning it. Or they might be attempting to suppress something, their body willing to release, but their mouth unwilling to speak. The body communicates through that silence posture subtly shifting, breath becoming shallow or deep, eyes glazing over or sharpening, a clenched jaw, a tightened hand, a sudden shift in weight. None of these produce sound, yet all carry profound meaning. They are part of the second conversation, the one most people miss. The key is to resist the urge to fill silence with your own words. Most people are uncomfortable with silence because they are uncomfortable with what it might reveal. They rush to end it because silence demands presence, and presence demands courage. But if you remain in it, if you stay calm, if you allow that space to exist, something powerful occurs. The truth begins to emerge, not always spoken, sometimes simply felt. There is also a silence that speaks of peace. When a person is comfortable with their own silence, it signifies strength. When two individuals can sit together without speaking and still feel a deep connection, that is alignment, not absence, but profound presence. Most people speak to alleviate their own discomfort, but the wise speak only when silence has already conveyed enough. To truly read people, you must observe what transpires between the words. You must become sensitive to the rhythm of conversation. When someone suddenly breaks eye contact, when they fidget, when they pause too long or not at all, these aren't mistakes, they are signals. A person who answers too quickly might be rehearsed. A person who takes too long might be fabricating something rather than recalling it. Every conversation is an intricate dance between the spoken and the unspoken, and silence is the space where the true steps take place. It's not about how loudly someone speaks or how persuasive their words are. It's about what their pauses unveil, where they retreat, where they hold tension, and where they release it. Imagine sitting with someone who articulates all the right things, but every few seconds their body stiffens, their hands tighten, their breathing becomes erratic. Would you believe their words, or would you trust their silence? Because silence is honest, it's unfiltered. You must train yourself to feel this, to recognize how silence manifests differently in various individuals. Some fall silent when angry, not from calm, but from attempting to prevent an explosion. Others go silent because they are deep in thought, while still others remain silent out of fear that if they speak, they will reveal something they are not yet ready to share. and your role is not to guess, but to feel, not to judge, but to observe. Become still enough internally so you can remain present during those moments of silence. If your own mind is noisy, you will miss the signals, you will rush to speak, you will break the moment, and the truth will retreat once more. Your stillness creates a space where the other person can authentically unfold. Sometimes, when someone speaks and then immediately falls silent, they're observing your reaction. They are gauging if it's safe to continue. If you are reactive or distracted, they will close up again. But if you remain grounded, open, and silent, they will often continue, not because you asked, but because they felt truly seen. This is a profound skill, to hold space without needing to fill it, to allow silence to do its work, to let the other person reveal themselves without force or pressure. The greatest understanding emerges not when you speak, but when you witness. In martial arts, timing is everything, not just the punch, but the pause before the punch. The same law applies to communication. The silence between words, the breath preceding a sentence, the stillness following an answer, these are not empty voids. They are where the real information resides. And remember, not all silence needs to be feared. Some silence is sacred. Some silence carries healing. So, when someone falls silent, do not rush to comfort them. Let the silence embrace them, because sometimes presence communicates more than words ever could. You are not here to impress with cleverness. You are here to master awareness, and silence is the ultimate test. Can you remain centered when nothing is being said? Can you stay open when others retreat? Can you hear what is not being spoken? If so, then you are no longer just listening, you are perceiving. Do not fear silence. It is your ally. It is your teacher. In it, you will see what words cannot reveal. And in it, you will discover a depth most people never reach. Now, move forward with presence. Every movement tells a story, yet most are too distracted to perceive it. What a person does when they aren't trying to impress you, what their body does in moments they forget they are being observed. This is the truth you must learn to see. While words are meticulously crafted, movements are often automatic, and these automatic gestures are direct reflections of the inner state. The way someone walks, the way they sit, how they hold their shoulders or tilt their head. This is the language that reveals everything. True awareness isn't born from rigid staring, but from soft focus. You don't force observation, you allow it to unfold naturally. You train yourself to be still, and in that stillness, you begin to notice the rhythm of motion in others. A person whose gestures are sharp and rapid is usually internally tense. Someone who moves slowly but with deliberate control is often centered, balanced, and present. However, someone who moves quickly without awareness, fidgets constantly, touches their face, scratches their neck, or crosses their arms while speaking is often guarding something, concealing a truth. When a person speaks with their hands, observe where their palms face. Open and visible palms often suggest openness, honesty, and willingness. Hidden or downward-facing palms suggest control, defense, or protection. Someone wrapping their fingers around themselves or clenching them tightly is often trying to suppress something. Perhaps emotion or fear. You shouldn't overtly stare at these gestures, you must feel them. Allow them to register within your awareness without needing to label them, and over time, patterns will begin to emerge. Most communicate through words, but the deepest truths, they reside in silence. You don't need psychic abilities to understand minds, only the focused power of awareness, a fleeting glance, a subtle shift, a momentary pause, and the entire story unfolds. Mastering body language isn't a mere trick, it's a profound tool. The most formidable individuals aren't verbose, they are keen observers. Fail to grasp these unspoken cues, and you miss everything essential. I'll show you how to perceive what others cannot. To truly comprehend someone, first grasp this fundamental truth: the body is inherently honest. What the mouth attempts to conceal, the body invariably reveals, repeatedly in the hushed spaces between sentences, in the subtle tension behind a forced smile, or the unwavering stillness of the shoulders. You begin to discern the true inner landscape of an individual. We exist in a world fixated on endless talking, elaborate explanations, and relentless self-validation, yet so few cultivate the profound, quiet art of observation. The body serves as the mind's echo. A clear mind manifests a clear body. A chaotic mind cannot mask its turmoil. This isn't a mere theory, but a law of existence. When you cultivate non-judgmental observation, devoid of knee-jerk reactions, you start to hear what is never spoken. In those moments, truth emerges from the profound silence. Every motion, every gesture carries an underlying intent. When someone crosses their arms, what are they truly doing? Protecting, guarding, shielding. If they lean forward in conversation, they are drawn to you. But a lean backward signifies distance, a subtle pulling away. Their body communicates volumes, yet most people remain oblivious. They're too preoccupied with crafting their next reply or asserting their viewpoint. To truly perceive the mind, you must first achieve inner stillness. Become the observer, not the performer or the attention-seeking speaker. Emulate walking silent, profoundly aware. Upon entering a space, notice how people position themselves, their posture, their breathing. You'll soon distinguish genuine relaxation from forced confidence, authentic openness from veiled secrecy. One who grasps this doesn't rush to respond. He listens, not merely with his ears, but with his entire being. He perceives the slight tremor in a hand, the clenching of a jaw, the fleeting side glance before words are uttered, and he refrains from judgment. He simply understands. For once you truly observe, you realize we all carry burdens. The body is merely attempting to navigate them. The beauty of this skill lies in its profound simplicity. You don't require advanced psychology or extensive literature. You need presence, complete, absolute presence. When someone addresses you, be entirely there, not lost in thought, not comparing, not strategizing, just be. And suddenly everything transforms. Body begins to speak volumes. Their underlying energy becomes palpable. Observe the feet. If someone's feet point towards the exit, even if they're smiling and nodding, their unconscious desire is to depart. Their body is already disengaging. Watch the hands. When someone touches their face during speech, it often signals uncertainty or nervousness. Their body is self-soothing. Shoulders rising as they speak frequently indicate tension, fear, or discomfort. You needn't voice these observations. Simply perceive and comprehend. You'll realize most people aren't deliberately dishonest. They're merely fearful of revealing too much. They speak to conceal vulnerability, but their body remains loyal to the truth, incapable of deception. This is why it's such a potent tool for those disciplined enough to wield it, not for manipulation, but for genuine understanding. Discipline is paramount. Without it, your mind will incessantly race, interpreting everything through your own emotions and biases, causing you to miss what is truly present. To clearly read others, your own mind must be still. If you are filled with internal noise, you will merely project that noise onto those you observe. You won't see them, you'll only see a reflection of yourself. This is precisely why a monk trains not only in motion but in stillness, not just in physical strength but in profound awareness. Every strike in training is simultaneously a lesson in focus. Every breath during meditation is preparation for heightened perception. For another person's body isn't a complex enigma to be solved. It's a mirror reflecting their inner experience, and only a silent mind can perceive it clearly. In everyday life, you will encounter many masks. People constantly wear them. Expressions of confidence, joy, peace. But beneath these masks lie subtle imperfections, a momentary hesitation, a stiffness in the neck, a fleeting flicker in the eyes. As you become attuned to these signs, you cease to be swayed by mere appearances. You begin to sense energy, not just postures or expressions, but the subtle life force vibrating beneath the surface. The path of awareness can, at times, feel solitary. The more you perceive, the more you realize how little others truly notice. Yet it is also a path of immense power. Once you can intuitively grasp the atmosphere of a room, understand tension without a single word, and sense truth before it's spoken, your very way of being transforms. You move with greater intention, speak less, yet your presence communicates far more. Release the need to be right, the compulsion to respond immediately. Instead, cultivate the power of perceiving people not through the filter of your emotions, but through the rigorous discipline of awareness. Sharpen your senses, not just your physical capabilities. Train your attention, not merely your brute strength. For true understanding doesn't stem from listening to words, it emerges from listening to silence. You don't need to chase people or strive to impress them. When you can discern their body's unspoken language, you already understand their needs, their fears, their deepest desires. This grants you an advantage, not to dominate, but to truly serve, not to win, but to profoundly connect. The path is simple: observe, listen, be still. The body will then reveal everything you need to know. Begin now. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. But if you truly pay attention, you will realize they're more than just windows. They're the doorway to truth. The kind of truth that defies words, that escapes before the conscious mind can conceal it. This is where your training must delve deeper, beyond surface level cues, past the shape of a smile or the tone of a voice, because while the mind can lie, the eyes never do. When someone speaks, their eyes often betray what their voice attempts to mask. Their tone might be calm. Their eyes might dart left and right, constantly seeking reassurance, approval, or an escape route. If you're not fully present, you'll miss this crucial information. But as you cultivate the habit of watching, not just hearing, you begin to notice something remarkable. The eyes possess their own language, far more honest than any spoken words. A person who looks down isn't always so out of humility, it's often from fear. When their gaze drops or shifts away after answering a question, it's frequently a sign of internal conflict, of something left unsaid. If their eyes constantly shift, they are not grounded, they are scanning, searching, uncertain where to direct their attention. And when someone completely avoids eye contact, especially during pivotal moments of truth, it's rarely out of respect. It's an avoidance of being truly seen. Conversely, there's a powerful side to this. When someone holds your gaze with a soft presence, not in defiance or as a challenge, but simply to be fully present with you, you can feel it. They aren't afraid to be seen, positioned for. They're not erecting walls or concealing shadows. They are simply there. This is a rare and potent connection, signifying alignment between body and spirit. Learning to interpret the eyes isn't about technique. It's about stillness, your own stillness. You cannot read another's gaze if your own attention is scattered. You must quiet your own mind to see clearly. Otherwise, you're merely reacting to your own narratives, filters, and emotions, which is projection, not awareness. To master this awareness, begin by simply observing without trying to interpret. Just watch the eyes' movement, their speed, their stillness, the avoidance or directness, and most importantly, tension or ease behind the gaze. When someone is at peace, their eyes don't dart around or attempt to control the space. They are simply there, breathing, present, not reaching, not hiding. Yet when someone is nervous, their eyes are the first place it shows. A rapid blinking, avoiding eye contact, or holding it for too long in a forced manner before quickly breaking away. These aren't merely spoken words, but signals of deep internal feelings. The eyes are like a river, carrying what the heart feels even before the person consciously recognizes it. In many